Here are some key tips for you to find and profit from a tax deed here this month within the next 30 days. So, if you're watching this, I know that you are new to tax lien and tax deed investing. And one of the things that we want these days is we want to do things quite quickly. And that's really what I love about this business. For example, for myself, within 4 days of learning about tax liens and deeds, I literally bought my first piece of property, piece of land up to 90% below market value. So that is what I'm here to teach you guys in this little live stream is what can you do to profit with this stuff over the next 30 days. So that is what we're going to dive in on. So first step obviously is to educate yourself on tax liens and tax deeds. Figure out, do you live in a deed state? Do you live in a lien state? When is the sale? Are you in a redeemable deed state like Texas or Georgia, where they're doing properties monthly? Or do you live in Florida, where it's a tax lien and a tax deed state? However, in Florida is one of the few places where you can't actually foreclose on your tax lien and it goes to the deed sale. Okay. So, depending on where you are, this strategy is a little bit of a buffet that you're going to have to work with, and we'll go through some tips on how to do it for yourself. Okay. So, the first thing you need to do, and probably the fastest way to make money here in the next 30 days, is it's going to be on the path of tax deeds. All right. So, with deeds, there's going to be a couple options. Maybe there's a tax deed sale happening every month, which is cool, be the first Tuesday of the month. Or maybe there is a sale coming up here over the next week or two, or whenever that's going to be. The key thing is we need to get our hands on some deeds. All right. So figure out when that sale is. If there happens to be one coming up shortly, it is going to be a must to attend that. Now, the next thing where you're going to make this work is going to be with obviously over the counter deeds. And these are going to be tax deeds that have not sold at the sale. Now, you will have to do some digging, but there are tons of these properties just sitting there right now that you can go buy. And then another strategy is, regardless, actually, if you're in a lien or a deed state, is to get that list of delinquent property taxes. And you can actually wholesale those properties, which is very, very cool because you don't really have to put much money into it.